There is nothing more annoying in this world than coming home after a horrible day. You've been looking forward to playing your favorite fighting game all day to cheer up, and your first match online is a game of Call of Duty. As ridiculous as zoning can seem at times, there are ways to beat it. Newer players may not be familiar with all of them, and experienced players may not be familiar with all the new ones, as Mortal Kombat 1 has brought a plethora of different ways to counter zoning. Today, we're going to be teaching you the best ways to counter zoning in this game. Starting with, let's go into one of the most fundamental parts about counter zoning and how to counter zone at all. So, most people at full screen will spam projectiles, and here's how you counter that. All you do is duck it without blocking. And when they enhance it, you're going to have to block, because most people's enhanced projectiles are indeed high, or they're no longer highs, they're mids. You can duck highs, but you can't duck mids. So just practice that, and eventually you can get close enough to get your combos in. Another thing you can do, jump. Jumping is a really good option, but eventually it can become predictable, and they can start throwing projectiles to bait your jump and anti-air you. Most projectiles in the game without being enhanced are highs, so you can duck them. And if you do that, you'll sometimes eat a mid if they enhance it, but they lose a bar for that. It doesn't do the most damage in the world. Obviously, it's Reiko, so Reiko is probably the best zoner in the game, honestly, because he's just nuts. But you can do a lot of different things to counter it if they're just spamming it. Jump and neutral duck very often. And one other thing that I want to mention, once they're in the corner here, they have one option here. Let me get all the way over here. They have one option. They can jump, or they can just sit there. Most people are going to jump. They just want to keep running away, and they want to just keep zoning you. So let me just wait. So you're going to want to find your character's best anti-air, and you get ready. And use it. Bait it out. Get ready. When you're fighting a zoner and you take them into the corner, get ready to anti-air them no matter what. It's very important. And if they don't jump, then it's okay. You just have it in the back of your mind at all times. But if they don't jump, they're going to sit in these corners. And most people who spam projectiles are not the best at dealing with pressure. So once you get them into this point, you're able to do a lot more about zoning. This is honestly the most fundamental way to deal with zoning. A lot of new players don't know about this because I see a lot of people just sitting there blocking projectiles and trying to do teleports and different stuff. So if you're just getting zoned out all game, try this and make sure that you have that anti-air in the back of your mind. He's jumping, oh boom, you're stuck in the corner. I don't care that you're jumping. Now he's eating a bunch of damage and he's still stuck in the corner. And I can keep it going. Now this kind of sucks because he's out of the corner, but it doesn't matter because I'm General Shao and he's almost dead anyway. That is the most fundamental way to destroy zoning. Now, on to number 2. Another great way to counter zoning in Mortal Kombat 1 is special moves. A lot of characters have different moves that can counter different specials. Now, I changed from Reiko because I want to talk about armor. Do not try armor against Reiko, ever. Reiko has 3 projectiles and it breaks armor. I chose Shang Tsung for the example because he has 3 projectiles as well, but they're slower, and, well, Baraka's armor goes under it anyway, but he can armor the mid. So, let's talk about what you can do with special moves to counter zoning. Now, Baraka has 2 special moves that are very notable when it comes to countering projectiles. Number 1, this one. Down, back, forward 3. It goes under projectiles. See, I'll go ahead and show you. That one's a mid and I missed him. But armor, you can also armor. Let me just show you that. Jeez, hang on, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, he keeps midding me. There we go. Okay, I went under it. You can go under projectiles. I made this AI as annoying as possible. So you can go under those projectiles. It's very good for that. It's kind of the same thing where you just want to go under the level and change your level, kind of like when you're crouching in the last step. But you want to find special moves that can go under certain projectiles. Another special move you can find is air projectiles. Baraka doesn't have a teleport, but some characters do. Teleports are incredible for getting rid of zoning. Baraka can do this though. He can go completely over your zoning and say, I'm a Beyblade. Let it rip. Oh, hang on. Let it rip. I can call Cyrax in. I called him in way too late there. But oh my lord, I'm getting destroyed by this AI. I set him up. I set him up too strong. But you can get there. It's a good way to counter projectiles every now and then. If they're expecting your special move that you've been spamming, it's a great way to counter projectiles. Now, one thing I do want to talk about specifically is armor. If someone's spamming you with projectiles, especially one-hit projectiles, you can just armor through it. So let's just do this. That one's a mid. I can just go straight under it, get that, and he's not gonna mid anymore, but I can just straight up go through his armor completely and get an insane amount of damage because I'm playing Baraka. And he doesn't know what to do about it because he's a zoner. See? He broke. This guy's crazy. I don't know how I set this AI up to do this stuff. But that is the best way to use your special moves to counter zoning. Find which ones can go under projectiles, find which ones can go over projectiles, and find if you have any special moves that can reflect stuff. Find teleports, anything that can avoid a projectile, any kind of armor that can go far and take one hit. If they're using one-hit projectiles, go ahead and use it. It's very good. Now, on to the last tip. The third and final tip I want to talk about is cameos. Cameos make a huge difference in this game. They're one of the biggest things that can help you counter zoning, and I want to go over specific cameos that can help you destroy projectile users. Number one, who I believe is the best cameo to pick if you just cannot deal with someone's projectiles, is Sub-Zero. Another great cameo for dealing with projectiles is Motaro. Motaro is incredible for having reflect properties, having his own projectile stuff. I think that eventually he'll get buffed and become even better because he doesn't seem to be the best right now, but he's great with dealing with projectiles. One honorable mention with dealing with projectiles, if you want to just join the herd, just pick Sareena and spam your own projectiles at them. You can get full screen combos with characters that do not have the potential to do so otherwise. Let's go ahead and talk about why Sub-Zero is the best for destroying projectiles. So the reason Sub-Zero is such a good cameo for countering zoning is because of his first ambush move, and it's the ice armor. You put this on and you get to counter 5 hits of projectiles. You have this little armor on. I mean, it doesn't cover your feet. I guess he just missed that part, but he covers your chest with armor, and it takes 5 hits of projectiles. So that is 2. It takes 2 of Reiko's shurikens now to pierce through you, and when you get hit by them, you don't move an inch, you don't budge. So you can just keep walking at them, dash at them. If you learn how to wave dash in my last video I taught you guys about in the defense tutorial, it is very good at just getting close to them while they're doing that. Let's just say, let me just show you an example right now. So I got to take the hit, and I get a combo from that. Simple as that. Now, you gotta be careful with Reiko because, as you know, his enhanced special is a lot more than 5 hits. He throws like a 30 at you. I don't even know how much he throws at you. It's ridiculous. But you can use that to your advantage. If you know he's gonna throw that, he's gonna waste all of his meter on that. Just block those and then use Sub-Zero because it's such a good move. It's like a free combo if you get one of these. Because it's a punish, as you see on the left there. And once you punish somebody, usually with a character like General Shao who has bad zoning options, with Sub-Zero you can get some pretty cool stuff. Like you can go like boom boom. You can just do like a pretty big combo. Oh, I messed it up, but you get the gist. Yeah, you can do some pretty crazy stuff, as you can see. One thing I would recommend with Sub-Zero, this move, this little ice shoulder as well, it is pretty decent in terms of like taking a hit if you're fighting someone who's not Reiko, but it's also way better like on block. Let's say they're blocking stuff. It just pushes them back pretty far and gives you it's like neutral on block. So you can just hit one of these, boom, boom, and now you're neutral on block. They're pretty far away. I mean, it kind of sucks against zoners, but I just want to recommend that if you're using Sub-Zero, that's how you use that move. Now let's go over Motaro. Motaro is kind of underrated in terms of zoning, destroying. I think that he's decent against some matchups. Other matchups he sucks. Like Rain, he can't even reflect his projectiles. Reiko he's really good into because he can reflect his projectiles. Liu Kang he's really good into because he can reflect his projectiles. You just need to find out which matchups you can pick Motaro into and which zoners can be exploited by Motaro's reflect. So let me show you why Motaro's reflect is such a good thing against people like Liu Kang. So let me just have him do his zoning shenanigans, right? I'll just throw one of these out, and I can hold the cameo button and have him just walk at him menacingly. It reflects lows as well. It's just really, it's so good in terms of counter zoning. So what I would recommend doing is get mid-range about and then use it. And then just wait for them to use stuff. If they're not using stuff, you can go ahead and engage and get your pressure started. If they start using stuff, it's getting reflected at them, and you can use that to get your pressure started. You can just keep it up while you're walking at them. You can also use your own projectiles while this is happening. So they can't counter zone you while that's happening at all. This is a great way to end a round off if they're trying to zone you out. You say, nope, I'm zoning you out instead, even though I'm General Shao. My zoning's better now, because you can't do anything about it. Yep. Look at that. Now I'm close. Big damage incoming. So that's one of Motaro's strengths. Also, he has this little teleport. If you can do it like perfectly timed, you can punish people. Once again, it is a matchup thing. Some projectiles can't be punished because they're just too quick. I find it like it's pretty hard to punish stuff. I like to go for mix-ups from this, because you can go for the overhead low with Shao, or like just go for a throw here. Like a dash up throw is pretty good, because most people will be blocking if they see a teleport immediately. Or yeah, you can always just go for the punish. But Motaro has two options. I would say three, but I mean, this little shoot, it's decent. It's definitely decent as your own zoning tool, and it provides a lot of pressure. But it uses 2 bars immediately. I just don't think it's that good. You can combo off it as well. It's definitely decent, but in terms of counter zoning, the reflect is way better usage of resources. And Motaro also has one more thing, which is this little low here. If they're all the way over there, you can just hit them with this little low projectile. I prefer this, honestly. This is better like an on block tool. You can kind of just use this. You see it's +5 on blocks. You can just do one of these. Keep your pressure going. It's really good for pressure. And that is how to use Motaro to counter zoning. Now on to the third and final counter zoning cameo. So the final person I want to go over real quick is Sareena. Sareena doesn't have the best tools in terms of counter zoning, but a lot of people use her, and I want to show you that she does have like decent ways to do some stuff. And I feel like Sareena's kind of underrated in terms of her other tools. She's not just a combo demon. I want to go over, first of all, this forward cameo is really good. Look how, let me turn the cameo gauge off of refill. Look how quick it refills. It does 6%. It's a high, but it does 6%, and it refills incredibly fast for like zero of your own resources apart from cameo bar. You don't have to expend any of your own meter or anything. You just get a quick little of your own projectile. You can put that on any character now. Now, obviously, this is pretty good, but it's not the best for full screen. I would actually go for this full screen. This is better full screen. It refills way quicker, and you can just, if you hit it, you can just dash in and continue trying to get closer with tip number 1. Once you're about mid-screen, that's when you can go ahead and use one of these. You can toss out one of those and find out what your character can combo with. You can go just like a quick little combo string. And that's what makes Sareena so good, is these mid-screen combos and this full-screen little projectile. Now, obviously, Sareena has this thing, which is great for reducing meter. It's, you can't really see it right now because I have the meter on full always. But everyone kind of knows about that already. You just go in the corner, you plop that down, and you remove their meter. It's great. One thing that people are not using enough, my favorite thing on Sareena, is this. So I'm just gonna have Reiko do his little combo string. You can see here, it has a gap in it, right? It has a little gap in it. I can stop blocking. Here's how you can tell there's a little gap in it. If I spam down cameo, guess what? I completely stop the string and throw in an armored cameo move. This move is incredible for taking a turn back. If you know that someone's using a string with armor on it, just simply use, or not armor, sorry, with a gap in it, just simply toss it out there. You can get some good damage from it. Just simply toss it out there. It's an armored move, you don't take any damage, and you can start your own pressure. On hit advantage, you have 33 frames. That's a lot. It's a lot of frames. You can start your own pressure again. This is a great tool in terms of getting out of pressure. Now, I know it's not really in terms of zoning, but I wanted to talk about how Sareena can be used outside of zoning. And how one of her moves is being underutilized by a lot of Sareena users. I think it's honestly one of her, if not her best move. Just because of the fact that you can just take turns back like this. It's ridiculous. And I see like nobody using it like this. It is ridiculous. It's like a free armored move. You don't have to spend any of your own meter on it. And then you get pressure. It's just great. It's just great. I recommend using that. Like I said, mid-screen, toss these out, get a combo. That's what Sareena's best for. Everyone knows this already. Sareena's a combo character. We know. And then Havoc can do crazy stuff like this. Whatever, yada, yada, yada. You get the gist. Just Sareena's pretty simple, pretty basic, but use this a lot more. It's nice 6%. It's super quick to rejuvenate. Stops using this as much. The time to refill is quite slow. You don't have a cameo up for long when you use it, so I would definitely recommend checking out the other options in terms of Sareena's buttons. And that is going to be it for today's video. I really hope these tips can help improve your gameplay. Make sure to go into practice, try out different things, go into Sub-Zero's cameo stuff, put that Sub-Zero Sun Lotion on, test out the projectile limits, test out which characters you've been frustrated with, make sure to test out neutral ducking and jumping. All these different things will help improve your gameplay against zoners tremendously and help you close that gap and learn those combos you've spent hours learning. With that being said, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like, tell me your thoughts about zoning in Mortal Kombat 1 in the comments, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit the bell. Any interaction with my channel helps get my face out there. I'm still somewhat of a newer YouTube channel, and interacting with my YouTube channel will help me get out there. Thank you so much for all the love and support I've been getting recently. It's been absolutely ridiculous. You guys have been doing insane. I've just got monetized on both YouTube and Twitch. You guys have been killing it. So thank you so much, and on to the end. There's nothing more annoying than having a horrible day, coming home to load up your